No, 100%, 100%.
Hey everyone, I'm joined with Lev Parnas, former Trump fixer. Lev Remembers is a Substack. Please join. We're talking about Project 2025 and the great GOP purge. And it's not just the purge of the government, it's not just the purge of agencies. Lev has some inside information about how the military generals who were called, they should have just, I don't know, been on a WhatsApp or a Signal chat, but they were called for the shameful theatrical display earlier this week where Pete Hegseth and Donald Trump cosplayed as warriors, and much to their muted reaction, that is also a step in purging those who are not seen as loyalists. So let's start with the our d- our department, our Secretary of War of the Department of War, Pete Hegseth. And what was the true motivations behind that really shameful display and cosplaying earlier this week, Lev?
Yeah, so what I'm hearing is really scary. So we hear Donald Trump walking around talking about how we are top in AI technology, how he is now close with Sam Altman and obviously Elon Musk, the creators of AI. And there was a little burbling going back even a few months ago that they were thinking about how they could use AI and probing and purging certain programs and helping them when they were doing with the Doge, going through Doge. And what I heard literally yesterday, really shocking. I wrote about my Substack today that one of the main reasons they brought all of them, the generals and the top personnel into one room, is they had AI technology scanning their faces and facial recognition while Trump was speaking, while Hegseth was speaking, to look as part of the loyalty test, the modern new way of using to see how they were reacting, their facial recognition. And today I spoke to Malcolm Nance and I asked him, I says, this is even, and he said, absolutely. He goes, he's been hearing the same thing. And this is one of the things that also I'm hearing Pete Hegseth and them are using now in the Department of War, as they call it, to purge people that are whistleblowers, because part of the biggest whistleblowers that are out there, leakers, are close to Hegseth. They've been around him for a long time, and he can't figure out who they are. And it's not so they're reporting that they're going to be doing a polygraph test,
Yeah,
but
that
it's
was, I think that was 2 days ago, right?
correct. Yeah. So, but this is to another level because they're also using AI technology that not the AI technology that we use or we see, Grok, DeepSeek. We're talking about stuff that is maybe 10, 20 years away from us even seeing this stuff that is used by the military, by our CIA, by, our services, where they're able to actually just think about how powerful AI is that we see it, that, and it's like not even a piece of the technology that they have to be able to monitor. So part of these, new purging and whistleblowers is a big move to using AI to do it, which is completely and is insane.
And so what have you heard about the military's response to what Trump and Kekset said?
So I've been hearing little bits and pieces. I haven't really heard some really concrete. I'm waiting actually to speak to a few of really good sources that I trust to be able to hear the response. But so far, everything I've been hearing has been positive. I mean, there's more, more people that were disgusted, that were upset with it, and that so far what I'm hearing. But again, that I think is playing into part of why they gathered them all in there, why they're using the technology, is to be able to weed through to see who could be there, because to stand in their way. Because as you could see, some of the things, one of the things we're going to talk about in a second is Venezuela. That's a major play that's about to take place, and Trump also designated these what are these drug cartels to be able to now give them I mean, this has been slipping through all the crazy media that's not even being
No,
even
we've been
once
talking
about.
about it. We've been talking about it.
Exactly. We have, but for some reason it's slipping, through the media and not talking about it, but it's a major play on what is transpiring as part of this thing that, again, and if I could take it back for a second, Wash, I mean,
Please.
everything we're talking about right now is everything that every time Waj goes on on Substack, I go on, or and a lot of other people. I'm not going to mention the names down the list, but one of the things we always mention to you, and is the number one thing that we scream at the top of our lungs, is Project 2025.
Yeah.
Donald Trump, when he ran towards the end of his election, he all of a sudden got confronted. Kamala Harris did a very good job and confronted him with Project 2025. He got scared. He backtracked. He lied. He told you that he knows nothing about it. He lied to the people. He said he wouldn't look at. That is another sign of a little part of his kryptonite, because there's a reason he walked away from it, because he understands if people really, if the American public really dissect and understand what's written in Project 2025, there's no chance in hell that American majority of Americans will vote for him or anybody associated with him. And that's why he lied, and that's why he strategically put in. But who did he put in to the most powerful positions next to him? Are the creators of Project 2025. There's over 100 of them, but the main two are Russell Vought and Stephen Miller. We talk about Stephen Miller all the time, and now he's come out even more brazen after the Charlie Kirk assassination. Now he's front force. You saw him in Memphis a couple of days ago screaming how they're going to do whatever it takes, knock heads, do what. I mean, literally, if you close your eyes and you would envision you were back in I mean somewhere in Germany in 1940 something, hearing some kind of radical, or in Russia or Soviet Union, or maybe listening to Castro in Cuba, or I mean, this is the type of speeches that he's now, and he's in the front now. He's no
No,
longer in the
literally,
back.
at the Charlie Kirk, I don't mean to interrupt your flow, but just
Yeah.
to give context for people, Lev isn't exaggerating. At the Charlie Kirk propaganda rally, I refuse to call it a memorial. Stephen Miller gave a speech that literally was a modern reboot of Goebbels' "The Storm is Coming" speech of 1933 and 1932.
Yeah,
Oh,
insane.
Goebbels, the chief propagandist of Hitler and the Nazi Party. I
Yeah,
digress.
yeah, no, absolutely. And now we're seeing the mastermind, because Stephen Miller is not even the mastermind. The mastermind is Russell Vaughn. And he's
There you go.
coming out the wood right now. And this is the crazy part. This is why today the media should be, every media reporter, should be screaming, because Donald Trump yesterday basically came out and accepted and said that he accepted Project 2020. He put
Yep.
a post. I mean, like, if I could read it to you guys, just so.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna bring it up. You bring it
Oh,
up. Great.
can you
I
read it?
put it
If
up
you
also.
haven't,
Go
read
for
it.
it.
No, if you haven't read it, I was gonna look. If you haven't read it,
Uh, Gosh, here I put it up yesterday,
yeah.
and I put up the exact quote. Give me one
Oh,
second. All
here,
right,
I got it.
I have a meeting today with Russ Vought, he of Project 2025 fame. He literally puts it in all caps to determine which I have to do stupid voices because
Go
just
ahead,
I can't.
go for it. Yeah.
To determine which of the many Democrat agencies, most of which are a political scam, he recommends to be cut, and whether or not those cuts will be temporary or permanent. I can't believe the radical left Democrats gave me this unprecedented opportunity. They're not stupid people, so maybe this is their way of wanting to quietly and quickly make America great again. President DJT, the man who spent the last few months running up to the election completely lying and disassociating with Project 25. Lev, I tried my best. Me and Danielle tried our best on Democracy Ish. We brought it up as much as we could. We tried our best on America Unhinged on Zateo. Kamala Harris brought it up. Corporate media failed. Um, Lev, he literally admits it.
Yeah, I mean, and now this is what I'm saying to you. I mean, we have two major things that we should be screaming, and the Democrats, and that's another thing, the leadership of the Democrats, like, they have the power of the pulpit. I don't care what I mean. If they were together, if right now, they were together in front of the White House, all the media would be around them. If they would get in front of they should be every morning, 2, 3 times a day right now, getting out in front of every single media and talking about how Donald Trump is shutting down the government, how Donald Trump is destroying it. Not instead they're reacting to his memes. Instead they're playing this game. They're worried about some sombrero. They got, wasting time going back and forth putting memes. Yeah, it might be funny. I mean, it might be, yeah, it's great for you, but it's not effective. It's not working. I mean, he's succeeding in the war of manipulating majority of the people out there. Because if you take a look at mass media, if you take a look at all the headlines, it's constantly, you hear them coming out in the morning very calmly, collectively saying it's the Chuck Schumer shutdown. The Democrats want to give illegal immigrants all the right. I mean, lying through their teeth, and all you see.
Shamelessly.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I said shamelessly lying. Shamelessly.
Yeah, shamelessly. And the Democrats, again, like we talk about all the time, nobody wants to take offense. They're back on defense. They're responding how he shouldn't have put the sombrero on his head, how disgusting that is, how he shouldn't have, said this, how he shouldn't have said that, how, we are trying to go to the White House to speak to him and try. I mean, this is crazy. I mean,
But you know what?
yeah.
I'll give credit to Governor Newsom. He doesn't get engaged. Well, his team, There's certain. So my response is the leadership. You're talking about the leadership, Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries. "Woo, woo, we had a conversation with him. We wrote a letter. We think we heard him. That wasn't right. How come we didn't?" But meanwhile, Governor Newsom just has a photo, an AI photoshopped photo of Donald Trump as Mary Antoinette, which went viral, and
Did you
and,
see
and
that?
AOC and Bernie just straight to the camera talking to the people about how they're taking away Medicaid and ACA. The problem is the people who should be leading, who should be in the forefront, are not leading. Lev,
And
it's the
that's, and see what you
incompetent
said,
men.
right? And see what you said, was, which is very important. AOC and Bernie are not getting the media attention that if the Democrats, the way the Republicans are. If you turn on, this is what I'm saying to you, they have no surrogates. I mean, I could go down the list. I'll give you an example. You go on any left wing, right wing, middle wing, any social media, there are Republicans, there are mega folks, there are surrogates all over the place. And they're given an opportunity to speak, and they're constantly speaking Donald Trump's, what's it called, arguing, debating. You go on any right wing, there's nobody. There's no there's a one person. I swear to you, we were talking about it yesterday. There's one person, and she's on the Fox Five. What's her name?
Darlock, Jessica.
Jessica. That's it. There's nobody, and they use her as a prop. I feel bad because she's great. She fights. She does a good, but because of the way they set her up, it's more of a prop for the right wing agenda or for the right wing guys that are they're watching it to laugh at it, not to really get across the. You know what I'm saying to you, and that's one of the reasons why I'm speaking to a lot of these Democratic leaders and behind the scenes, and I'm telling them, guys, you have to fight him on his level. You can't stoop to go into where he's calling you. He wants to get you into these little tit for tats. Right now, he is causing death and destruction, and
Yep.
he's laughing at it by putting out these
That
social
insane AI
media,
video, the Grim Reaper.
the Grim Reaper with Russell Vaught. With
Yep.
Russell Vaught as the Grim Reaper. Just think about it. He's giving you, just like he gave you with the Epstein. He's giving you just right now. Think about even the Epstein. Right now, I'm all over the place. I know, and I
No, no, no.
apologize. But
It's perfect. Our brains are in sync because just to promote this conversation, just 2 minutes ago while you were talking, I promoted Project 2025 Epstein, Project 2025 Epstein, Project
thank
2025
that's
Epstein.
it.
Me and Lev are talking about it. So
It was. Those are the only two things we should be talking about. No policy, no Project 2025 Epstein. He's admitted to it. Each Democrat leader, each congresswoman, each congressman, each senator should take Project 2025 right now, have their people, chop it up, take out whatever part of that, because there's so much garbage in there. You could use each different congressman and woman could use a different part and go tell the people. Show the people what it is they're putting upon you, what it is. You will see that everything we're watching play out is part of Project 2025, but nobody's talking about it. They're just saying it. See, Project 2025. Most of America has no idea what you're saying by saying it. Go out there and tell the people how they're destroying it. Go out there and talk about every morning as the government is closed up. You should be on the steps of the White House doing a press conference. All the leadership in unity talking about today's another day. We're losing these rights. Today's another day. These people today, and remind the people. Don't sit back and wait until Johnson comes out and says this is the Schumer shutdown, and then all of a sudden Hakeem and everybody's running around defending what Johnson said or what Trump said. That's the problem. Be ahead of the game. Be out there in the morning. Give the message. Start telling the people how you're gonna make a difference.
and Lev is getting so frustrated, and he because welcome Lev, welcome. They tried in spurts to talk about Project 2025, and I'm going to keep the receipts. I remember there were many of us, the nerds, who were doing our best to talk about Project 2025. The Democratic Party didn't really talk about it. It was Taraji P. Henson. Folks, go check this out. Taraji P. Henson hosting the BET Awards looks right in the camera and tells everyone during the BET Awards, Lev, she's an actress, okay? She spends 30 seconds saying, y'all need to go research Project 2025. They're telling you exactly what they're going to do. That's what caused Project 2025 to finally start trending because the Democrats weren't doing the messaging. Then at the DNC, a few of them talked about Project 2025. It still didn't take hold because the right wing, like you said, have an entire machinery, right? Top down message discipline. So, folks, it was just bits and pieces. Now, Donald Trump, because he can't help it, because they're so arrogant, they're so reckless. And I'm sure someone on his social media team, they're trolls, right? They troll you. They say, well, we have power now. What you gonna do about it? Well, yeah, we got Russell Vought. Now, folks, literally, if you all tune in, Donald Trump admits that he is associated with Project 25. He's the one that posts it. And then they release an AI video. Go check it out. I can't believe I had to double check if it was real with JD Vance, Russell Vought, Donald Trump as the Grim Reapers, literally during a shutdown, literally as they're killing people, openly owning like, being the architects of death. It's a slam dunk. And then there's the people. I don't know if you saw that statue came back yesterday. The statue with Epstein and Trump holding hands in front of the White House. So I think people need to know about Project 2025 and they need to know about Russell Vought because what we've said on this show for a while, folks who've been watching us, is there's two shadow presidents. The shadow president is Stephen Miller and Russell Vought. Russell Vought is the head of OMB. And Russell Vought, let me read you something I read yesterday while I was co-hosting Mary Trump's show. Quote, before joining the first Trump administration, Russell Vought was the vice president of Heritage Action for America, a sister organization to the Heritage Foundation, which published Project 2025. He advocated for deep cuts to Medicaid, the Education Department, and USAID, all of which the Trump administration began executing this year. USAID, gone. Department of Education, basically done. Medicaid, $1 trillion worth of cuts. Last month, Vought said he didn't believe the Government Accountability Office, Congress's watchdog, should exist. He's also an open white Christian nationalist.
That's what I'm saying to you. I mean, listen. If we can't talk about this and unify on this message and use this for the next year and talk about economy, just like Trump did. We don't need millions of things. We got the economy that is going to shit because of what he's doing with the tariffs. With the people, though, we have the Epstein files, which think about this, Waj. We had Howard Lutnick give an interview. And in his interview, he did you see? I don't know if you saw the interview where he basically admits that, hey, yeah, everybody knew that he blackmailed Epstein. Yeah, he had the massage table, all of them.
It wasn't a right wing channel too, like conservative media.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is how brazen they are. This is how insane they are. What you know? I'm saying to you, and while this is happening, where is the outcry from the Democratic Party and putting pressure? Where's the media putting every time they see Johnson and not asking, why aren't you confirming the senator from Arizona? I mean, the congresswoman from Arizona. Why aren't you? I mean, this is what I'm saying. The problem is, Waj. This is the problem. We could scream and yell all we want. We're giving them the ammunition. Trump is literally falling. It's like, you know what? Who wants to lose more? You know what I'm saying to you? It's like, who wants to be? It's like, I don't understand. Trump is giving them so much stuff. The mega still is all over the place. There's no unity. He's not looking to win elections now. He's looking to steal elections now. I mean, it's already in plain. I mean, look, everything we spoke about. He's looking to invade Venezuela. He's going to announce an insurrection once, or martial law once he does that. That's why right now he's purging all the military. That's why he had them come there. That's why he's using face recognition. Because one thing, if you look back at history, any dictatorship to be a full blown dictatorship needs the military. because without the military, that's when coups happen. That's when they fight. That's what is happening right now. He has already the police because through ICE, through his if that's his personal police Gestapo. What we be talking about now, they're personalized the military. Just think about the things he was talking. I mean, for a second, we haven't spoke since. I mean, at the speech, the way talking about going to use our
American
states,
City.
cities, American citizens as target practice for our military to go out there to be able. Just think about that, folks. Think about what was going through through those generals' minds when he was saying that, and while they were scanning their eyes and watching it. This is what I'm saying to you. He's preparing people that are pure people loyal to that cause. That's why, and they have the technology to do it now, to pass through those lies. And the scary was, and the scary part is, I'll tell you, is that there's no unified message. I mean, we have the only traction we have is the Epstein files, and even those, it's like pulling teeth every day. I mean,
I,
it's crazy. It's like it's something so simple that should be so bipartisan, should be so easy, so it should be already what's it called? We can't get through. And now he's coming up and giving this whole thing what he did with the generals, the shutdown of the government, the announcement that he Project 2025 is in full effect, and you hear nothing of this. Instead, you're hearing them come out being upset that they put a sombrero hat on them. Instead, you hear them coming out with barely bumbling. And you know what? The other part that's pissing me off, I'm sorry to say, is that there's no loyalty or unity in the Democratic Party because, and they know it. I remember we were part of it. That's part of what we would speak about, Mega. And that's what they're waiting for because the cracks are already happening. You already have leaks coming out that there's certain people that are willing to switch now in the Democratic Party because they don't want the government shut down. And the scary part, that might happen. You might start having people start leave because you don't have the strength, somebody there strong enough to holding that party together. And that's the scary part. And that's why, we're out here screaming at the top of our lungs.
they're just not built for the leadership. I'm talking about the leadership, folks. Schumer, look, this is where I'm going to try my best to connect the dots for the 1,200 people watching. I know it's a lot we gave you. Lev and I have been talking for a couple of months. Lev has his sources. I don't have sources. I just trust the evidence of my eyes and ears. What I have been saying is, since October, Donald Trump said, before he got elected, I will unleash the National Guard and the military against the enemy from within. It's the first time the president actually threatened to do that against American residents and citizens. He also was quoting Hitler. Earlier this week, when he assembled all the generals, what did he do in his cosplaying? He used the same words, enemy within. And he was gauging to see who would be down with him cracking down on the enemy within. Well, he has labeled the enemy, folks. About a week and a half ago, unilaterally, he decided that Antifa is a terrorist organization. What does that mean? No one knows. Furthermore, in the past 2.5 weeks, since Charlie Kirk was murdered by Tyler Robinson, allegedly a white man, one person, look at the language that the right wing has used. They, them, the left, the left, the left. Even before there was a suspect or a motive. And then they've doubled down, as Lev said, in this ecosystem. They've already seeded the ground. So now they don't talk about Tyler Robinson anymore. They just say they, them, Civil War, left, left, left. Then he comes out, Antifa. Notice that. Now, last week, Joshua Johns, another white 29-year-old radicalized guy, shot at the ICE detainees in Dallas. And what did they do? Really quick, before having all the facts, the left, they, them. Then yesterday, folks, I had Ken Klippenstein on. Ken Klippenstein, thankfully, Lev, now. We've been trying our best. I hope I have 2% of a hand in this. Ken wrote this piece 5 days ago that literally got a memo, National Security Presidential Memo 7, NSPM 7. I'll say it again, folks, NSPM 7. It's the reason why it's called 7, there's only been 7. This was the 7th memo, where the Donald Trump administration openly is saying that they're going to see certain words, certain thoughts, certain speech as indicators of terrorism. Anti-ICE rhetoric, anti-Christian rhetoric, GOP rhetoric is going to be an indicator of left-wing terrorism. And then they gave a list of Democrats and their tweets criticizing ICE, right? And now you got the news that ICE is going to start patrolling with their own social media team scouring. That happened today, folks. ICE is going to use their budget to scour social media, right? So you bottle this all up, folks. What's happening? Well, yesterday, another piece of news that you and I talked about, and we said everyone keep your eyes on this space. U.S. military just announced about 2 hours ago they conducted their fourth strike on another boat off of Venezuela offshore, killing 4 men, which means in the past couple of weeks, the United States, without due process, has extrajudicially killed, I will say murdered, Lev,
Yep.
21 people,
Yep.
saber rattling with Venezuela. Venezuela now has told its citizens to arm themselves. Venezuela has sent their jets circling around U.S. boats. All right. Without any evidence, Donald Trump has said, oh, they were drug traffickers and they were terror groups. Yesterday, Donald Trump told Congress and the press in a memo essentially that he has determined that the United States is in a war with drug cartels. What does that mean? If you are in a war with drug cartels, it gives you permission and gives him context to literally kill
Yep.
these people. Now, why am I talking about this before I give it to Lev? If the president establishes that without any proof, any due process, extrajudicially, he can straight up murder people that he deems to be uh, terrorists and that he is at a war with drug cartels, well, what can that president, with Shadow President Stephen Miller, then do to Americans? Because Stephen Miller has used the word invasion. Stephen Miller has decided that we're an invasion, we're at war, which is why he can suspend habeas corpus, why he can do the Alien Enemies Act, and he can unleash ICE and the National Guard in Portland, LA, and the enemy from within. I think I got that right. Lev, I give it to you.
I mean, Waj, you do the best connecting the dots. But let me tell you even further. I mean, this is not just a war with Venezuela, folks. I mean, you have to understand this is now, we are going to be, because Venezuela is now partnering up with Colombia. Because remember, the Colombian president was here and got thrown out of America because he stood up to Donald Trump. There's other South American and Central American countries that are on the Donald Trump shit list, as he calls it, that are partnering up. So this is something extremely serious, because this takes speaking to certain military people that served in the military, is the thing they say to me right away is, we don't do good in the jungles.
Yeah.
Remember Vietnam. I mean, this is urban warfare. This is a different type of a war. This is not, fly your bombs in, blow everything up, and then I mean, this is, you have to put boots on the ground. And you have to put boots on the ground into jungles. You have to put, and it's a different type of atmosphere that is playing out here, that behind the scenes, that nobody's even talking about, and it's extremely dangerous what they're planning, because again, they have that bully mentality of scorched earth. You know what I'm saying to you, that they could do whatever they want. They're without accountability. And this is becoming more and more scarier, because the other thing, that we don't touch about a lot, but I just want to mention that it's extremely important. I wrote a Substack letter today about it, is that nobody's talking about Wash, because there's a lot of crazy things going on in the world. And, but right now we're at a tip that we might have a nuclear explosion.
What?
Another yeah, a nuclear explosion in Ukraine. The biggest is Zaporizhia, the biggest nuclear plant in Europe, is literally been without power for 10 days. It was literally on the verge, Russian attack nonstop. It's literally like, and not only that, but also the Chernobyl. Remember Chernobyl? That also is under attack. So right now, while Trump is doing all this, right now in the middle of the world, literally, we could be, as we're speaking, we could have a breaking news, and there's another nuclear explosion. Which again, that is something so dangerous, because where the wind blows, nobody knows. It could go towards Russia, it could go towards Ukraine, or it could go to Europe, and then we have a totally different. How do we respond? Where is NATO? I mean, this is such we're right now, there's so many moving parts, so many ticking time bombs. That is why it's so important to act as quick as possible. And by acting, meaning is making our voices heard as loud as possible, putting pressure on whatever leadership we have, changing the leadership, bringing new blood into that, whatever we need to be able to stand up. Because if we don't stand up to 2026, and I really prayed, because I pray that me and Waj are wrong. I pray that he doesn't
Yeah.
do the insurrection, or the, what's it called, law,
Martial
um,
law.
martial law, because I truly believe in our country and in the people that if we do have any kind of election, even if it's not fully fair, we will come out and we will prevail. Because remember, we need to be strategic. There's certain states, that we need to go after to win the House, because all we need is to have at least one branch out of the three to be able to stop him, slow him down, or cut this off. Because right now, literally, and that's the other thing, Wash. I mean, it's his enablers. It's the people in the House, in the Senate, that basically sold their souls. You see Johnson running around. I mean, they're clowns.
Pathetic.
They're clowns.
Pathetic.
They're, and I just hope one thing. I tell you honestly, I hope, because the Democrats always talk a big game, but then when they come into power, there's no accountability either. Everything
No,
is
that's
somehow.
I did a whole piece on that. The need for accountability. I've been talking about it as well. I think they should be running on it. We
Yeah,
are gonna. They should
yeah,
say it, because look what pisses them off. Stephen Miller says, "How dare you call me a fascist?" Meh. Oh yeah, call him fascist. See, this is where, when it comes to trolling, Governor Newsom's team is doing it. They don't waste time. They're like, they don't play the civility game. Like, shut up, mother effer. I'm gonna put you in a frock and make you Marie Antoinette. Oh, you don't like fascist? You're a fascist, right? You punch a bully figuratively in the mouth. Look what pisses them off. They hate being called racist. They hate being called Nazi. Stop quoting Nazis. They hate being called fascist. But they all project, because they all keep calling us fascist. So they hate being mocked. They hate being ridiculed. Keep mocking them. Keep ridiculing them. Keep calling out the ICE overreaches. Someone just said your son posted what they're doing in Chicago. It's disgusting. I think it's
yeah.
overreach, folks. I
Don't,
think
don't.
more and more people see these videos of the
But
79-year-old
did you
white
see what
man
she did?
store owner.
But
Huh?
did you see what she did? How disgusting! Oh, I got to, before we went on, I was looking at. I got even more disgusted. So what Christy Naum did, what's it called, Secretary of how whatever, she
A
went
DHS secretary, but
DHS
it's actually
Secretary.
Stephen Miller. But sure,
Yeah, she went. I can't. This is crazy. She went and took a right wing, Benny Johnson, a right wing, just social media guy. She took him along right now with them, and as they're going around, they put on ice, a jacket on him, and he's literally
disgusting.
sitting in the car, and she's giving interviews, speeches. She just gave a whole speech about how we're going. She goes, "You see those people? That's the enemy." She's pointing at American citizens that are protesting. She goes, "We're going to go in. We're going to go in hard." The words, I mean, I'm going to write a Substack and put that video in there about what they did today. And this is the thing. The Democrats should be doing this. We need more surrogates. We need more. We need to act like we need to be out there. Like, just like you said, yes, Gavin Newsom, great job, but he's one person. He's one person. You know how many the memes these guys? Trump is putting one out, then they have another 100 of them. They have. It's like a whole machine. Watch. And that what I'm saying to you, the Democrats have the money, they have the technology. They just need we need somebody that's going to come in there right now and say, you know what, I'm tired of the old shit. We need a brand new slate. And I need to assemble a team. I need to
Absolutely.
assemble a team that knows Donald Trump, that knows his inner circle, that has sources, that has contact, put together 10, 50 people, ex megas, ex people that served in his administration, people that worked for him, people that went to prison, put together and sit there and put together the right. Don't sit there. You're collecting. When I sit there and think about how possibly they could come up with one smart idea, because they're sitting there with people, all people that have never met Donald Trump, Trump, nobody in their administration, have never spoken to any of them, are working off all assumptions, working off some kind of ideas without, they don't even know what it's like to bend the rules, let alone break the rules. And they're playing against somebody that doesn't even believe in the rules. Do you understand what I'm
Uh,
saying? It's like it's crazy.
You have to play hardball. And the reason why Chicago, at the very least, I mean, now they're doing some terrible things, but it's because Pritzker played hardball. Newsom's playing hardball. Mamdani's playing hardball. You need to play hardball against people. You need to mock them, ridicule them, expose them. And the weaknesses, folks, the cankles, we kept saying it, the Achilles cankles of Donald Trump is the Epstein files. And the Epstein files is also now the Achilles cankle of Elon Musk and Peter Thiel. In addition, you just have to look at the numbers. Over 80% of Republicans, 80% of MAGA, 80% of independents, 80% of Democrats want the release of the Epstein files. It's the one thing unifying America. So every single day you should be like, oh, okay, a Black Little Mermaid, release the Epstein files. Oh, okay, you're pissed off about M&Ms, release the Epstein files. Oh, okay, transgender athletes, sure, what about the Epstein files? The second cankle is the economy. The economy is going terrible. People are pissed. He's negative double digits. Whenever there's a bad economy, people rise up. Also, his health is another cankle. And the fourth cankle, folks, is the brewing civil war within the right wing. I follow this so you don't have to. I'm all about divide and conquer. Like Ken Watanabe says in Godzilla, let them fight. Y'all aren't paying attention over Charlie Kirk's murder, the deep state, Epstein files, and Israel. Huge rifts with Marjorie Taylor Greene, Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, and a few others. And you have to divide these rifts. So I think what Ro Khanna is doing with Massey, this bipartisan campaign to release the Epstein files, I would say Epstein files, and now Lev, that he has openly embraced Russell Vaughn Project 2025, and
Yeah.
opening for Democrats to bring it
Thank you.
right back, and say
Thank you.
this is the supervillain plot. You want to know the supervillain plot to purge the administration, to gut our services,
Here it
to
is.
purge the generals, to dismantle the government. Oh, it's Project 2025. This is how they want forever power. This is the end game. They're not going to leave. He's called the enemy from within. ICE is a Gestapo. I think it's time to say abolish ICE. I've been saying it for a while, folks. What more do you need to see? I think if you start running on abolish ICE, accountability, take these mother effers on, we're going to put Stephen Miller in jail. I think they're going to rally people. They want fighters left.
Yeah. What you just said, Raj, 100%. We need fighters. We need to run. This is what he tried on. Run on us. We're going to put them in prison. We're going to hold them accountable. We're not going to let them rewrite history. We're going to get all the pedophiles in prison. We're going to open up just like that. That's what people want to see. We're going to rebuild our economy. We're going to get back normal relationships with our partners and our allies. We're going to stop fascism all over the world. We're going to support, it's crazy. This is the type of stuff we need to hear, but instead we hear a lot, different messaging. It's bits and piece. It's like you see, like Jamie Crockett and her, although she does it her own thing, and she's great, but there's no unity. Newsom does his own thing, great, but and again, the other thing you gotta understand, Wash, what they're all doing, and this is what, again, I don't want people to misunderstand me. Yes, what Newsom is doing is great, and it's getting under his skin, but it's not getting any voters. It's not piercing through to the right middle class wing. That's why it has to be a combination effort. This is why I'm saying to you, it can't be one-offs. Plus, Newsom is reactory. He responds to what Trump does. So if Trump puts out a meme, Newsom responds to that meme. But there's no aggressive. There's no, again, being on the
What
offense.
what do you stand for? What do you stand
Exactly.
for?
Thank you. We don't have an identity. What is it we stand for? What is it the Democrats want to do? They say a lot of things, but the Democrats constantly, when they get the mic, the reason why people stop listening to them is they go into these long policies and these long speeches about that puts people to sleep. Nobody wants to see you speak there for 40 hours. Nobody wants to sit there. Great, you did it one time. What people want to hear, go spend 5 minutes out there and tell them exactly what is the messages is what you know. We're going to stop fascism. We're going to take our democracy back. Don't be scared to say it. They're scared to call Donald Trump a fascist. They're
Yeah, well,
scared to
that's why
say
they
he's a
react, because
victim.
it's projection, because they know they're a fascist regime, and they know they're quoting Hitler. They know they have Nazis in their party, so it's all you could see the stuff that they're really upset about. The fact that you're calling out ICE, they know this is overreach. You keep hitting them. You have to keep hitting them. You have to keep standing for something. And real quick, Lev, what I'll say is this: the reason why you're seeing this disparate, and we've been talking about this also, folks. You know, Danielle and I have talked about the cold civil war in the Democratic Party. There's no real leadership. This is an identity crisis where there's some people who want restoration, others who want reformation. There's people who want to go back to the old way of corporate money in APAC, and there's a new way. And they're trying to crush some of these new people. So what you're seeing is ad hoc. Everyone do their own thing. And you're seeing the people who are actually connecting with the folks are not the leadership. Bernie and AOC came out, looked right on the camera, explained it in a folksy manner. Ro Khanna is doing his own thing, I think, trying to take a progressive mantle. Zoran Mamdani, they're doing everything they can to crush him. He is like just he's like Matrix. He's like Neo from Matrix. He's dodging all the bullets, right? So they're trying to see which message works.
He needs a bulletproof vest and a bomb vest and that, because what Trump is about, what I'm hearing, New York. I mean, they're gonna like this is so crazy to think about what how the people of New York are. If Mandani wins, Waj, remember my words, he will turn New York into, he will stop all funding. They're already part of Project 2025, actually, is already they're hitting New York firemen, and they're hitting police. They're also hitting Chicago railway stations. I mean, it's this they're going to try to turn these some of these democratic cities into a disaster zone. It's
Oh yeah,
crazy.
I mean, Russell Vaught's already openly said it. He's going to
Yeah.
hold the $15 billion worth of infrastructure, which is illegal. So use this against him and rally the people. Rally the people. Lev, there's another piece of breaking news, but I'm going to have to let you go because I got a guest coming on. Who, folks?
Yeah.
I'm going to jump off and jump on. Join me real quick. Another piece of breaking news. Hamas says it agrees to release all
Oh,
hostages
really?
in Gaza.
Wow,
That's huge.
that's
The
huge.
militant group said it would release the hostages according to the exchange formula contained in President Trump's proposal. Now, knowing Israel and Netanyahu and Smotrich, my initial take on this is the following: Israel will find a way to sabotage this. I think Hamas just did something very smart by agreeing to release all the hostages. My prediction, and I just like Lev said, I want to be proven wrong. I think Israel will find a way to crush it and come up with an excuse. But that is some big piece of news. Left
That's
final word
huge
to you.
news. I mean, first of all, that's huge news. I'm going to jump in afterwards and watch. Also, I'm curious to see what's going on. But listen, folks, I want to first of all thank every one of you that follows, subscribes, and supports, all independent journalists, supports us, of our voices out here. But I want to just say this: we need right now to go the extra mile. Each and every one of you needs to go that extra tip, because we're not at the precipice of history, and we need right now to go and do whatever we can to make our voices be loud and heard. And what the message should be is we need fresh blood. We need leadership. We need somebody to stand up and to take our message, unify the message, take this party and stand up to Donald Trump, and we will be alongside with him. And for those of you that haven't yet joined the movement, please subscribe. And for those of you that can, the paid subscribers, between me and Waj, we have more kids than I think that we have
I think we might have
subscribers. So
10 kids between us. 10 kids and 3 cats. Uh, Folks, this is Lev Parnas. If Lev remembers, for the 2,000 people who joined us late, we talked about Project 2025 and the Purge, how it's all connected. The war against Venezuela is going to be at the war from within. The war against drug traffickers is the war against any critic of Donald Trump. There's a purge happening in the military. There's a purge happening in the government. And now Donald Trump, in his arrogance and recklessness and foolishness, has fully embraced Russell Vought, the other shadow president, and Project 2025. The supervillain plot is back in the news, and we have given some suggestions for Democrats to message on. And also, Epstein has not gone away. The economy is in shambles. And last thing I'll say, folks, everything you're seeing is a sign of weakness. They're looking at the numbers. They're looking at the numbers, and he's a cornered rat. And a cornered rat who knows he's going to lose in the midterms. He might even lose the Senate. We don't know. And as such, I hope I'm wrong. I hope Lev is wrong. A cornered rat uh, who realizes he might actually have some accountability is going to do everything in his power to ensure he stays in power forever. And how do you do that? martial law. We're at war, emergency, Antifa, drug traffickers. I have to suspend the election. I have to curb your free speech. But don't worry, civil liberties will come back. Elections will come back. They never come back. And they're gearing up for it, folks. They're gearing up for it. Just trust the evidence of your eyes and your ears. It's right in front of you. And if you can, become a paid subscriber to Lev. He has 7 kids. Become a paid subscriber to me. But if you don't have money, give it to Lev. If not, the Left Hook is always free, no paywalls. At the very least, folks, subscribe, be informed, be decent, be kind, be empathetic, and please, oh, please don't be a fascist. I'll be back in 2 minutes with Rula Jabril. She's a fantastic commentator. I can't believe I got her. I WhatsApped her. This is breaking news. Hamas agrees. What does that mean for Israel? What does that mean for U.S.? What does it mean for the war? We're going to break it down. Rula's one of the best. Thanks, Lev.
Thanks, Wash. Talk to you. Have a great weekend, guys. Bye.